All right, what is up? We are live, so let's jump right into the paint schemes this weekend for the first playoff race let's get the microphone up, in Atlanta. So here we go. Worldwide Express, the blue on Ross Chastain. They run it quite often, but I feel like they don't run it often enough that every time I see it, it feels kind of new. I just like that color blue for some reason and a little bit of chrome on the number. Anyway, Ross Chastain in the Worldwide Express. Menards with Quaker State on the hood, the yellow and the green. I like it. Seattle Supersonics colors there for Austin Cindric. Brestree on the number 3 for Austin Dillon, the teal and the gold with the black background. Decisely, I think I said that right. Insurance purple car fading into blue for Josh Berry there. Good looking car. I like that one as well. HendrickCars.com for Kyle Larson. Always a good scheme, but we've seen it pretty much every race. Soft pretzel bites for King's Hawaiian on the side of the number 6 for Brad Keselowski and his Ford Mustang. The orange and the blue, always a good color combo. New York Met style. Gainbridge with the yellow and the blue on the black background for Corey LaJoy in the number 7 Chevrolet. Global Industrial Nexel Cheddar's Chevrolet for the number 8 of Kyle Busch with a very patriotic scheme this weekend. The number 9 Napa Auto Parts car, and that is the children's Chevrolet, the kids there designing that one for Chase Elliott, and I like it. I think it's a good looking scheme. They did a good job. Number 10 Overstock for Noah Gregson in his Ford Mustang. Mavis Tires going with a lot more green than normal here on the number 11 for Denny Hamlin, who did not qualify well. Was it because he held out his team in the charter thing? We'll get into that probably in the comments. Let's see. Dent Wizard, number 12 for Ryan Blaney, all blue mostly with a little bit of white on the side, sort of a white side where the blue numbers go. Good color blue. I like that car. Mahindra Tractors, number 14 for Chase Briscoe, mostly grayish silver with a little red on the roof there. Let's see. Mighty Firebreaker. This is a pretty good looking car for Cody Ware here. Got the flames on the side. So if you like the flames, this is going to be your car today. But good looking car, sort of a tree, sort of an outdoorsy background on the rear wheel here. But a nice midnight blue there on that car. Number 16, acceptance.com. We shop, you save there for Shane Van Gisbergen in the number 16 Chevrolet Camaro. Chris Buescher in the 17 Fastnell. We've seen that one before. Auto Owners, a very similar, very familiar scheme for Martin Truex Jr. This one has the white background, though, instead of the black background. It's a good-looking car there, or a navy blue background. I can't remember exactly. Christopher Bell will drive the number 22 Ream Toyota. We've seen that one before. 21 Dex Imaging. 22 Auto Trader on the side of Joey Logano here today. So hopefully he can get a good run in that. Let's see. Lidos. I always have trouble saying that. Lidos on the number 23 Toyota Camry for Bubba Wallace. Relay is going to be on the side of the number 24 for William Byron. The green, the whites, and the black there. Cry Cool. We've seen that one on Daniel Hemrick before. Blaster on the side of your pole sitter here, and we'll get to the starting lineup next for Michael McDowell. Work it like a pro. Let's see. City Guard heavy duty engine oil on the 38 of Pickle Todd. He's City Todd today. HaasTooling.com on the side of the 41 Ryan Priest. No surprise there. We've seen that one before. Olipop Ridge Rush on the side of John Hunter Nemechek's 42 with different shades of green on a white background. And of course, the gold border. Going to be hard pressed to look much different than your teammate, but I guess he's got a little bit of that bright green in there because the Dollar Tree 43 is also a dark green, but more green on the side of his, I guess, than the 42, but fairly similar. 45 Jordan brand, just going white and black here for Tyler Reddick on the 45 here today. And the 47 Thomas Oscar Mayer combo. Now, whoever designed this for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. did a great job because they incorporated both of the colors of these, and they even on the hood where they put the hood stripes. I really like this car. I really like this car a lot. I'm going to put it in my top 5. 47 Oscar Mayer Thomas's English Muffins. Good looking car here for the JTG Doherty gang. 48 Ally, their normal scheme there for Alex Bowman. 51 Justin Haley is the Grady Health System Ford, red and black. So if you like the red and black, part of the Wolf Pack. There you go. There's your car right there. NWO Wolfpack, not necessarily the Wolfpack that got roughed up by Tennessee last night, or at least in the first half. I stopped watching after that. He gets us. He gets us. Ty Yeezy in the 54 Monster. He gets us. Toyota Camry. I almost have Ford. What am I drinking today? Let's see. 71 and Better Health for Zane Smith. And the 77 Delaware Life for Carson. Josephus Hosevar. And Quaker State going with the Daniel Suarez. Sort of a Mexican theme here today. I can't see what's on the hood because it's only showing me the side of this, but really good looking car. Probably one of the better looking Quaker State cars I've seen in quite some time. Good looking car. So I'm going to have to put that in the top 5 as well. So whichever ones I said I like, those are my top 5. Now let's get to the starting lineup. Then we'll jump into the average finishes here. Michael McDowell got the pole. Ryan Blaney second. Todd Gilliland still doesn't have that pole yet, but he's third. Josh Berry. So there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Fords because Austin Cindric here starting in 5th on the front row. Then you got Kyle Larson, the first Chevrolet. Joey Logano, another Ford. Austin Dillon starting 8th. William Byron is starting 9th. Chase Briscoe 10th. Alex Bowman 11th. Harrison Burton 12th. Noah Gregson, Daniel Hemrick, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher, Ross Chastain, Brad Keselowski, and then Ty Gibbs. I think Ty Gibbs is the first Toyota. Yeah, Ty Gibbs, the first Toyota starting here in 20th. So they've definitely worked on their drafting more than their qualifying package on the Toyotas. That's definitely basically what you can say there. Then you got Ryan Preece, Martin Truex Jr., Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, Corey LaJoie, Christopher Bell, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Shane Van Gisbergen, Justin Haley, Daniel Suarez, Cody Ware, Carson Hosevar, Eric Jones, Zane Smith, John Hunter Nemechek, BJ McLeod, JJ Haley, Denny Hamlin is your last qualifier. A lot of people speculating that is because he held out, or it could just be because, well, they had some type of mechanical trouble or something they missed in pre-tech. Ryan Blaney is your best average finish here at 6.6 in the last 7 races since 2021, 8.6 to 11.1. The gap in average finish. Then you've got Martin Truex Jr., Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, Daniel Suarez, Austin Cindric, Kaz Grala, William Byron. Kaz Grala's only had 1 race here where he finished 14th, so that's an outlier as well. William Byron at 15.6, BK at 15.6, Eric Jones 15.7, Denny Hamlin 16.3. Let's go to previous winners in the last 7 races, and 2 times it was William Byron, 1 time it was Joey Logano, Kurt Busch, Daniel Suarez, Chase Elliott, and Ryan Blaney. So there are your previous winners. Let's go to top 5s for the previous 7 and 4 apiece for Kyle Busch and Ryan Blaney. So is this the track that Kyle Busch gets it done at? A lot of speculation. So let's go to laps led and see where it pans out there. Kyle Larson has led the most laps here at 291, 190 for Joey Logano, William Byron at 174, 149 for Kurt Busch, not in the race, obviously, but it bodes well for the 45 of Tyler Reddick, 147 for Kyle Busch, 138 for Chase Elliott. Everybody else is below 100. And let's go to the average rating here at driveraverages.com. Ryan Blaney at a 110 overall is going to be your favorite, followed by Denny Hamlin at a 94.5. Joey Logano, William Byron, and Chase Elliott are going to be your other favorites. Chase Elliott at a 92. So as far as that goes, Ryan Blaney is going to be who I pick to win this race based off the numbers. I think that's the smart, logical pick, I guess, if you want to throw it out there like that. And I'm going to pick, I don't know how much of a wild card this is considering how well he's run recently, but I'm going to pick Kyle Busch as my wild card. And eventually Kyle Larson is going to win a super speedway race. So don't sleep on Kyle Larson either. So there you go. Let's jump into the chat and see what you guys want to talk about. What's the hat you got on? Let's see. It's a Dale Earnhardt Intimidator hat. Let's see. Nice Mets shout out there. BB, appreciate you there, Lanes. I'm a Yankees fan, but and everybody just switched off and tuned out. But there you go. Shout out to the Mets. They try hard. I like the Truex Jr. Auto insurance scheme this weekend. Yeah, I like the white background. I think that's the first time we've seen that in quite some time. Front row 2311 didn't sign. What does that mean for those 2 teams, and how do you think NASCAR will treat them in the future? NASCAR, in my opinion, NASCAR will definitely be petty. I think what they did is pretty ballsy. Not signing it, especially for front row. Michael Jordan's got he's got FU money, like not worried about them. But front row, what they did what they did, I feel like, is more ballsy. I like that they're holding out for what they think is fair and a better deal. But that being said, I'm tired of talking about I'm tired of talking about the thing. So in a way, I wish they had signed, but I understand where they're coming from. They want the charters, basically the holdup. They want the charters to be permanent so that it's easier to negotiate sponsorship deals going forward. It'll be better for NASCAR. It'll be better for the teams. Yada yada yada. Blah blah blah. That's their perspective. NASCAR doesn't give a crap. They just want the deal done, and they have NASCAR, to their credit, has successfully broke the union or whatever. So NASCAR is winning right now. If those other teams have signed, I know it was like a speculative, rumored report from the Athletic, but the Athletic's usually pretty accurate with their stuff. So if it's true that most of the teams have signed and those are the only two holdouts, it's gonna get super interesting. What up, BB? Ready to hang out at Martinsville? I am super ready for Martinsville coming up in November here. PB Blaster scheme looks sweet, says one wise guy. It is a good scheme. It's one they've run before, and it never gets old. It's got a lot of colors to it, and everybody get loud from a cloud. Same Jordan Brand scheme for Reddick. He won Talladega earlier this year. It says in between lanes. Okay, so it is the same exact one. So that's good there. Let's see, Jimmy Howard. Any thoughts on a charter deal? I heard that only 2311 and Front Row didn't sign. Is this accurate? According to the Athletic, it is. I haven't heard anybody else come out and really talk about it other than Brad Keselowski, basically saying that I guess RFK had signed, because he said, I don't know if they forced us into signing it would be the accurate terminology. So the wording there from Jordan Bianchi was that they forced, or whoever wrote it at the Athletic, I assume it's Jordan Bianchi. NASCAR forced the teams. They gave them an ultimatum. I guess Brad Keselowski was taking issue with that. I guess Brad Keselowski eventually liked the deal. And there's a good chance that some of these teams are just tired of negotiating, and they're like, the deal's good enough. We'll get them next. We'll get them in 7 years or whatever. But Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan don't see it that way. And Front Row Motorsports, who I want to give a lot of credit to, because I feel like what they're doing is more ballsy. Because, like I said, Jordan has FU money. Uh, they don't want to wait another 7 years to renegotiate this thing. They want to get it done now. So it's going to be super interesting. And a lot of people are comparing this to the kart split. I don't necessarily see it quite like the kart split, because there's not enough teams to split. There's only between them 4 teams, possibly 6, if you believe the rumors that they got the extra charters or whatever. So I don't necessarily see it quite in the kart split section of theory or whatever, but it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But both 2311 and Front Row standing on business, NASCAR standing on business, breaking the union. So everybody's doing what they feel is right. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out with 2 teams holding out. Do they negotiate a better deal for themselves? Do they negotiate a worse deal for themselves because they hung out? Yeah, it's probably going to get pretty serious. So it's definitely serious from here on out as far as that goes. Late to the party. Hey, BB, what's up, Jamie Schweitzer? Bubba Wallace was at NC State Tennessee game last night. Says in between the lanes. Yeah, Bubba Wallace, a big Tennessee fan. His mom ran track and field. Jamie Schweitzer, no poll. Yeah, sometimes on the pre-race I don't run a poll. Post-race we will have a poll though. If I did run a poll, it would just be who's your favorite to win this race, and then everybody's like, how come you didn't put such and such in there? And I always say only because I only got 4 options. So yeah, no poll today. We'll do the poll for the post race. BB, I'm drinking creamy coconut Dr. Pepper. I'm drinking an ice cold Pepsi. But for whatever reason, they've put Dale on the side of this ice cold Pepsi. So I don't know. Pretty cool. Doesn't taste like a Pepsi though, so it's weird. Let's see. Real sugar soda shot Pepsi here, says Glock. So Glock is on the he's got the OG Pepsi. Nice. I got my Dr. Pepper from 7-Eleven. Hey, there you go. 7-Eleven. They sponsored somebody here recently in the Cup Series. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Shah saying good day. What's up, Shah? Good day to you as well, my friend. He's a Yankees fan. Boo this man. Boo. Go Tigers, says Glock. Well, I'll tell you one thing, buddy. The Tigers, me and Glock were having a conversation. The Tigers are another inconsistent team that I can't do anything with on DraftKings. And somebody was talking about the Mets earlier. The Mets and the Tigers, I don't mess with them on DraftKings, and we'll leave it at that because they're so inconsistent. They manage. I'll tell you what they are consistent at: letting me down. when I believe in them. So I don't believe in them anymore. Stay away from those guys. Who do you pick as the driver finishing last? I picked Denny Hamlin. Something was wrong with his car. Like if they don't have that, whatever it was with his car figured out, I would have to say that would be probably a good candidate. But the 11 team, they're good. They're going to get that figured out. Based off statistics here of the people in the race, Cody Ware is going to be your favorite to finish last at 27.6. That's a tough call. BJ McLeod at 28.4. Oh, I've got something else selected. Hold on, let me go to average finish here. All right, let's get the accurate average finish here. Quinn Huff, Bailey Curry, James Davidson, Noah Gregson. Oh, Noah Gregson. Ooh, Noah Gregson. Noah Gregson's got the worst average finish here in 5 races. Worse than BJ McLeod, worse than Cody Ware. By the numbers. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm picking Noah Gregson to finish last in this race. Insane. I was not expecting that. There's your Sunday afternoon surprise there, or morning if you're on the West Coast. Motor City Dan Campbell is the greatest Applebee's employee of all time. Second best. I would say Mike Harmon, and I call Mike Harmon an Applebee's employee because he drove the Applebee's car, so therefore he is an Applebee's employee. Dan Campbell is the VP though. He would be the VP in that particular deal. So we need Campbell Harmon, Applebee's president this season. What is it? 2024. Hey y'all, says Bumblebee. What's up, B? Then they can steal your order, says Glock. Morning B, says Wise Guy. Could 2311 race without charters? What would that look like making money wise? They would not make as much money post race. So the big deal with the charters is you get your payout no matter where you finish is a lot better than teams that don't have a charter. I got the Giants and Vikings game on, says in between the lanes. Yeah, I got I think the only one that I DK'd was the Buccaneers. I got the Buccaneers, whoever they're playing. I got them taking the W. So that's my only NFL pick. Otherwise, fantasy wise, I got Tua Tagovailoa. And apparently his wide receiver was detained by the police. Tyreek Hill detained before even entering the stadium. According to Drew Rosenhaus, though, he is going to play. So that was Commanders. Thank you, one wise guy. That's who they're playing. So yeah, always bet against the Commanders. That's a pretty fair bet there. No offense, Commanders fans, but you know the deal. You've been watching them long enough. Let's see. But yeah, he will play. So I was looking at my starting quarterback and I was like, man, anything that can happen will happen in fantasy. And hopefully it was a traffic violation too, is what I guess apparently they were stopping him over. So an outstanding traffic violation. So interesting start to the NFL season with that. And the video of it's already circulating Twitter and Instagram. Work for a Pepsi bottler in Alabama. This has been a good stream for the brand, says Dirty Def. Hey, there you go. Pepsi, even though Dirty Def allegedly may prefer another brand, he's appreciating the Pepsi love. Let's see. Denny had a had a plug wire that was a problem. Didn't have to change motors, says Bumblebee. Hey, there you go. So they did figure out what was going on with the Hamlin deal. So there's a list of bolt checks and stuff. Somebody on their list of checks before the race missed the plug wire. It happens. Unfortunately, we left the power steering, because we take the power steering belt off to cool the car down sometimes before qualifying. One time we left the power steering belt off, and that was not good. Let's see here. Congratulations to Lane Woods and Craig Moore, winners last night at Orange County Speedway. So good on them. Craig, both of those part of Craig Moore Racing. So Craig Moore Racing, 2 wins last night. Good stuff. I heard from a source that Denny Hamlin had to stop at an actual Mavis Tire and brake shop to get that extra plug wire, says in between the lanes. Motor City Dan Campbell is the greatest Apple's VP of all time. Indeed. Which driver was calling for Mike Joy to retire? I think it was Hamlin. Any insight on that? I saw the headline for it, Jamie Schweitzer, but I haven't seen the article or the comment that he made. So I need to see what he actually said to get the full context of that, because you know how they do with headlines. They try to make it more spicy than it should be. So I need to get the full article or the full interview of what he said there because I doubt that I really doubt that Denny Hamlin would just come out and throw shade at Mike Joy like that. So I don't know. Russell Wilson didn't start today. He's doomed. Oh man, he was named starter. So what happened? Oh man, what happened? I thought they named him starter before the deal. I think they'll still rotate both quarterbacks in and out there, but I don't know. Need LaJoy to win and piss everyone off like Austin Hill did yesterday, says Bob Dole. Yeah. Can an RCR driver not named Kyle Busch win? And people, or I guess Jesse Love. So yeah, I can't say that. But whenever Austin Hill wins or Austin Dillon does anything good, it seems like it triggers social media a little bit. So apparently they're the bad guys right now, and we'll see what happens with them going forward. Because I don't know, sometimes the villain arc goes long enough that you become the good guy. Case in point, Kyle Busch. Does Dr. Pepper still sponsor Bubba Wallace? Haven't seen a scheme with Dr. Pepper on it since 2022 or 2023. Yeah, they've been on the car recently. I think they've been on the car this year. So yeah, I think they're still with him. They're still on the driver's suit, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Crystal saying, thank you, BB. No problem, Crystal. Dirty Deaf, you remembered. Yeah, I don't remember everything, but I do listen to you guys. I try to remember as much as possible. Bobby Pierce won the World 100. Shout out to Bobby Pierce, dedicated it to Scott Bloomquist and his family. And yeah, a cool thing happened. I'm glad you brought that up, B. A cool thing happened before the race. I didn't get to see the World 100, but they were showing the pre-race. I guess they were doing the flyover or the national anthem or something. And Scott Bloomquist's name was always Dark Sunshine. And I guess as they were doing something pre-race, you could see like a dark circle go over across the track. And I thought that was pretty cool because they were basically saying that was Dark Sunshine doing his own flyover. So pretty cool. Definitely an emotional race and super cool that he dedicated it to Bloomers there. What are your expectations for today's race? I think it's going to be total chaos. I think somebody that we feel like is comfortably in the playoffs is going to have trouble. Somebody is going to have a great race that we're not expecting to go to the next round. And I think we're going to have one. We're probably going to have one surprise in this round, and we'll probably have one surprise in the other round of somebody not making it and somebody we don't expect to make it, making it. But after that, I think the final eight is going to be pretty much not I don't know. It's pretty much going to be set in stone. It's going to be the guys you expect to say it. Austin Hill celebrated 50 years of Bennett Transportation with that win yesterday. Yeah, I was noticing he had a little bit of gold on there, so it was pretty cool. Denny Hamlin never said no. Mike Joy, he just said the Aussie guy for all the races. So to me, that means Mike and the Aussie. Says Sha. Yeah, so Lee Diffie, in case you're wondering who the Aussie guy is. But yeah, Lee Diffie. So Denny Hamlin is super impressed with him. And like I said, they take those quotes and they try to make something salacious out of it. He never said anything against Mike Joy, but obviously they tried to make it look like Denny Hamlin was dissing Mike Joy. So it is what it is. That's your modern mainstream media. That's how they work. And one dumb driver, says Shah. So there you go. Denny Hamlin, Mike Joy, and one dumb driver. Have you picked the 4 drivers not to make the dirty dozen in the playoffs? I haven't. I don't necessarily always do that. Maybe I'll start doing it next year. Too late to do it now. Off the top of my head, it would be too hard. But yeah. Is Bill France Senior smiling wherever he is with NASCAR breaking up a potential union of teams? He's got to be. He's got to be smiling, right? From NASCAR's perspective, they're like, we're doing what the founder would have loved. So no doubt about it. He was definitely hardcore. So long as 2311 goes to victory lane, go Niners, says Crystals. Hey, there you go. I'm a 49ers fan too as well, Crystals. So there you go. And no 2311 goes to victory lane. I misread that. So yeah, she's as long as 2311 doesn't win and the Niners win. That's Crystal's parlay. That's what she's looking for today. Hey BB, do you think this playoff will show NASCAR Fire 2026 to give the drivers more playoff that shows more of the playoffs that show their strengths that make them earn getting through each round to show a real champion? I think we're kind of NASCAR in a way. I don't want to say back their way into this system, but they're committed to a system like this going forward. The only tweak I think will get made next season, if any tweak is made, is they'll put in a top 25 or a top 30 rule. for the drivers to get into the playoffs. But I don't know. I don't know that they'll necessarily change the playoffs other than that. I hope they do, though. I hope they change the playoffs. I like the chase. Like, keep the current points format that we have now for race wins counting X amount of points and, whoever wins stages or whatever. Just keep that format and then just do the 10 races with 12 drivers. I like that format the best. I think that would work good with the current point system that we have now. Do you think Briscoe can make a run? Says one wise guy. Here's the interesting thing about Chase Briscoe. Haas is shutting down. They're losing 3 teams. There is nothing holding Joe Gibbs Racing back from giving Chase Briscoe some pretty decent setups, even though it's a Ford, because those setups aren't going to be used by anybody next season, right? Like Haas is its own entity. The 14, you would just have to talk with the 14 crew chief, and as long as you got the 14 crew chief coming your way, nothing is going to get out of house there. So there is a possibility that JGR, and some people brought this up last race because he ran so good last race, and the other SHR cars weren't as fast, even though the SHR cars at points were good in that race. Maybe they're feeding just enough information not to outrun Toyota, but run better than the other SHR cars. You could see Chase Briscoe doing something like that. That and Chase Briscoe's super streaky. You could see Chase Briscoe crash 2 races and then win the next one and advance to the next round. So yeah, I never sleep on Chase Briscoe, but my thoughts on Chase Briscoe is he can either go all the way to the end or he could go out in round 1. That's just Chase Briscoe for sure. Let's see. I like a non-playoff driver winning today. Not worrying about stage points is an advantage for some drivers that aren't in. I think there's definitely some guys that are motivated. Ross Chastain is super focused. He shaved his beard to be more aerodynamic, and I won't hear any other reason as to why he shaved his beard. He is all in. He's fully committed to getting a win before the end of this season. So he's one I would look at. Definitely Kyle Busch. You could definitely look at Kyle Busch getting a win here. And RCR overall has been running good. You saw that car that Austin Dillon had at Richmond. If it wasn't for Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Austin Dillon would have won naturally on speed. Unfortunately, he had a long run car, and the short run wasn't good to him. He did what he did. Let's revisit that controversy as much as we can. But I think he could possibly, in the right situation, be another one. Who else is outside looking in that could punch one? Michael McDowell could punch one. Pickle Todd, he's going to break through at some point. So I think there's a lot of guys that, especially at a track like this. Corey LaJoie at super speedways, never sleep on him. So yeah, I think there's a lot of guys on the outside. Carson Hocevar, he's going to break through at some point. Josh Berry, a lot of guys on the outside looking in that could punch one. Noah Gregson, I got to put him, although his numbers at this track are not good, as we saw earlier. So yeah, Cardinals making the Bills look bad early in this game, says Bruce Garvey. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. BB, since it's football season, my favorite line out of the booth is going to be heard a lot, which is receiver should have made that catch, which just annoys me for whatever reason. Yeah, it depends on a lot of times for me, it depends on who says it. I like it. I like it when it's the guy that looks like he's never played a game in his life and is like, I can't believe he dropped that. I'm like, that's a strange critique from you, friend. So yeah, I get you. I got you on that one. I believe I've seen another YouTuber state that the Fords are statistically favored to win today. Oh yeah, I mean, unless you have a big one, which we could have because it's super speedway. The Fords look like they're super fast, and they're always good at these tracks. And they've had a lot of maybe 1/3 of the way through the Fords, something clicked with the Dark Horse, and they're rolling now. Vikings just scored against the Giants. Harrison Burton has to make the Final Four or win the championship for NASCAR to change the playoffs, or even if that happens, I don't think they will, says Joseph Wooten. Yeah, that's one thing that could put some pressure on them if Harrison Burton makes a strong run. But I think NASCAR could easily spin that as being like, this is why we have the playoffs. We love crazy, strange things in sports. And so you could actually, if you really got behind it, you could spin it that this is the greatest thing that's ever happened. Harrison Burton hits his stride. Do I think that'll happen? I'm just saying it's a possibility. That said, I'm pulling for Harrison Burton to go all the way to the championship. I want to see it happen. I want to. If you got playoffs, you might as well pull for maximum chaos. Why not? Do you think NASCAR should make the playoffs where we have one road course, one short track, and one 1.5 or above track to give them more of a variety to show their strengths for the championship? Says Mike. I do think you need one of each track in the playoffs. I don't necessarily know that the tracks that they have in the playoffs are the best representation of that. I would love to see some of the bigger name tracks in the playoffs, but the reason NASCAR doesn't do that is because of TV stuff. They want to keep your Bristols and stuff like that. They want to have at least one Bristol race for, selling TV marketing and stuff like that. So that's why some of your bigger name tracks aren't in it. So yeah, but you definitely need one particular, at least one track of each type in the playoffs. I do agree with that. The 21 car will be a story, says Wilfred. I agree. I think Harrison Burton's playing with house money, so he can go out there and just completely be off strategy, and it's not going to hurt them at all. SHR made the run in 2011, says one wise guy. That's a good point. That's a good point. They've done it before. They can do it again, and Chase Briscoe is just the type of guy that can get it done. Howdy, y'all. What's up, Kim Pryor? Tom Brady makes his booth debut today. So, yeah, this will be the booth debut for Tom Brady. And it looks like we've reached the end of the chat here. So good luck with your fantasy football seasons. Good luck with your football teams. Good luck with your baseball teams if they're in the playoffs. And good luck to your favorite driver. Hopefully there's not a big one today and it takes out your favorite driver. All right. I'll chat you guys on the post race, probably about an hour after the race.